What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you all had a great Sunday. We're going to continue in this video and probably over the next several videos as we try to pinpoint what's going to happen here. We're going to talk about the potential for tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico as you get energy that comes off the coast or just comes off the mainland of Central America that really has a chance to develop into the Gulf of Mexico and possibly threaten the lower 48, the Gulf Coast, the Gulf region, maybe with a tropical development as we get over the next 7 to 10 days. We're really going to start watching this big time. We're going to get more and more details a lot more details is what I meant to say, as we get later into this week, into the weekend. But this is going to be a main topic on my channel over the next several days, unless something else kind of occurs in the eastern U.S. that's worth talking about. But right now in the eastern U.S., you have a typical kind of summer pattern right now where you have afternoon thunderstorms that really develop and just heat and humidity that the summer brings in the eastern U.S. So there's not a whole lot to talk about, but we really need to discuss this because this is going to be a main weather topic over the next several days. So if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. As you can tell, I'm just a few subscribers away from 4,000. I had a goal before the end of June to hit 4,000 subscribers, and thanks to all y'all's amazing support. It looks like I'm going to hit that, because obviously it only being June 6th. So thank y'all for the support. Like the video if you like it, and hit the notification bell. And also, I like to do a thing where I like to pray for people, and other people like to pray for other people too. So if you drop a prayer in the comments, even if it's unspoken, you got something anybody can pray about, it gives me an opportunity to pray for you, and it gives other people in the comments the opportunity to pray for you. Prayer is powerful, so let's definitely take advantage of that. But let's get going on the weather here. So I want to mention, a lot of times people like me who do the weather, I don't have a degree or anything. I'm a big-time weather enthusiast. I like to say I know more than your average person, but there's a lot of people who do this who tend to hype things, just like in winter when you're trying to pinpoint a snowstorm in the southeast 10 days out, and you're talking about it, and it's showing up on the models like 240, 252 hours out, 10 days out, and you're talking about it like it could happen. Well, it gets like that in hurricane season too, but I want to mention the National Hurricane Center is already mentioning a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 5 days. It's really, and if you can read the description right here on the screen, really, like I said, we get into Thursday and Friday, we're going to know a lot more about what's going to occur over Central America and eventually drift into the Gulf of Mexico. But there is a 20% chance that just updated at the 8 p.m. update here. Not the 8 p.m. It updated about an hour ago. So they're already throwing out the chance, and they're already showing the risk here of tropical development. This is a pretty big deal considering the fact that it's the National Hurricane Center. For some reason, guys, when I say National Hurricane Center, I like to say National Hurricane Season. So if I say that, just know I mean center. So this is a big deal. So like I said, it's not me just saying it. It's not others just saying it. You have the actual experts at the National Hurricane Center actually mention it. So we're going to break down some models here. We're going to break down the GFS, the CMC, which is the Canadian model, and the European model, and talk about a couple other things of the pattern and the steering currents that would be in place if something was to develop. Meaning, if we get development, where would steering current steer it? Where would the pattern in place steer it? So we're going to show you the GFS. This is the 18Z. This is the one that just came out about an hour ago. So we're going to get through here in time here. And as we're going here, y'all bear with me. We're getting into Thursday. We're getting into Friday. And we're moving along here. And as we get going through in time, I want you to watch this area down here. Just like I mentioned in my video last night if you didn't watch it. There's a lot of action kind of going on down here. You see a couple L's pop up. That's potential low pressure spin ups, what you call a CAG. It's a CAG. It's basically in areas of disturbances in Central America that have a chance, and sometimes have a spin to it, that has a chance to kind of get over open water, whether it's in the Pacific Ocean, whether it's in the Western Atlantic Ocean, which is the Gulf of Mexico, or the Western Caribbean, and has a chance to develop into something. So that is what we were really trying to check out to see if it happens. As we get into next Sunday, you're saying, okay, well, what are we looking at here? Well, what you got to watch here is this area right here. check out as you get through here into early next week, you get to some kind of system that develops. Now, I know you're looking at this saying, well, Mitch, this is 270 hours out. Keep in mind that this is going back and forth as far as a time period. And the main thing we're really watching here is not operational runs, which is just one operational run, which is like an 18Z run or a 12Z or an OOZ. This is just one run. It's going to flip back and forth. The point is it's continually showing some kind of tropical system here. And here it is showing this system. I want to show you this run from the morning time run. This is from 06Z, so this is the morning run from this morning. Look at what, I was a little shocked waking up to this. As we're getting here, I'm gonna cruise on to the weekend. Watch right here, a system develops, and this thing turns into an all-out hurricane early next week, and then slams western Florida. I mean, that is like a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane right here in June. Slamming western Florida. Incredibly rare for this time of the year. Conditions in place would not support that kind of development, that kind of strengthening. But it goes to show you, and this is in a lot more closer of a time frame, that models, this is going to be a long week trying to figure out what's going to occur, trying to figure out, first of all, we got to figure out, I really think something is going to develop. I don't think that's the real big question. I think timing one and strengthening is another. And obviously you got steering currents, but let me tell you, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the video. I really think if anything develops, it's going to be in this area right here, and it's going to cruise north in some kind of northerly direction, whether that's north, northeast, or northwest. I don't think it's going to stall out. I think whatever energy forms, I think regardless, next week, we're going to be dealing with some kind of tropical surge of moisture, whether it's actual tropical depression, storm, low-end hurricane, late next week for the Gulf Coast. So we're going to look at the Canadian model here, and which is, I tell you what, it's not a very reliable model as for hurricane season, but I do want to mention that it did do decently well last hurricane season. It really did. But check it out here. This, I feel like the Canadian model has the right idea. Look at the activity over Central America right here. It kind of, there's almost like a spin to it. If I move through it really fast like this, you almost can look at a spin. But look at the low pressure that pops off here right off the northern coast of Central America. Right in the southern areas of the Gulf of Mexico, where it's pretty warm right now, even though it's still kind of early in the season. This thing really develops as you get into next Monday and Tuesday, and then it cruises north and really and only goes 240 hours out. But this is strengthening in some decently warm Gulf of Mexico waters, and you got a tropical storm right in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, according to the CMC model, at about 9 days out. You look at the Euro. The Euro's still trying to figure out, but I'm going to cruise through this really fast, and look right here. I'm going to cruise through these panels, but check out the spin. If I move this really quick, you'll notice there is a spin down there on Central America, especially when you're getting right here. That is that CAG, that CAG. That is basically a lot of energy that's actually got a little bit of a spin to it, that's just begging to get over warm waters of either the Pacific or the Gulf of Mexico or the Western Caribbean and develop into something. And all you got to do is pop this thing over some open water, and you're probably going to get some development. And as we're getting to 240 hours out, which is pretty far out, it's starting to get over into the lower southern areas of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I do want to mention, models seem to back things up a little bit more. I'm going to watch that, because it's the same thing when you're in the winter looking for an Arctic air mass. If you're having an issue with getting things closer into short-range models, to me, that starts to, over time, lessen the chances of whatever we're trying to pinpoint from happening. It happens a lot in winter when you're looking for an Arctic air mass. It seems like the Arctic air gets more and more delayed, and eventually it just never comes. That happened in early to mid-February for the Southeast. It ended up stopping in Alabama. And us, where I'm located in South Carolina, we ended up just getting temperatures in the 50s, while areas about a couple states away were getting winter storms. So anyways, I won't get into that because it still frustrates me. But we got to watch this. I think regardless, the chances of development is pretty good. This is the next 24 to 72 hours out. It's highlighting an area. It did the same thing to me last night, guys, when I was trying to show you this. I don't know why it does it when I try to pull up this video. It's like the video just glitches or something. But anyways, it was showing right here, if I get to about the 240 hours out here, there's an area highlighting the 30 to 40% chance range that this slowly drifts over the Central America into the southern areas of the Gulf of Mexico, and there's a heightened chance of tropical depression development off the EPS ensembles here. This is basically the ensemble mean for any kind of low pressures. Notice this high pressure over here. This will have a big influence on any kind of steering currents of whatever develops here. Now check out the low pressures that start popping off the means over Central America. This will eventually drift northwest over Central America and have a chance to get over open waters here in the Gulf of Mexico. If this happens, if you can get this area of disturbances, I'm telling you guys, into the Gulf of Mexico and the open waters, it's going to develop into something. I'm not saying it's going to develop into a Category 5 hurricane, but the ingredients will be there in place. There's enough warm water in place, as you can tell, especially in this area right here where it's really favored for any tropical development, especially right here. Temperatures are getting to the low to mid 80s in Fahrenheit. Something is likely to develop for sure. As far as patterns in place, we'll kind of fast forward to that time frame here, and as we're getting here, we're getting to about 10 days out when something, and this is just the GFS, this is the heightened anomaly, so this is showing high pressures and troughs. This is what we watch right here. At the same time, you almost have a trough kind of digging down and some kind of low pressure trying to pop off here. This would almost act to pull this in off a stalled cold front or whatever it may be. And with high pressure over here, high pressure over here, it's going to fit in between that and cruise right into the Gulf states. So we're going to watch to see how much this intensifies if it develops. But as of now, we're just trying to watch models and see how much consistency we can get in. But that's all I got, guys. I thank y'all for tuning in for another video. Thank y'all for the big support. Any new subscribers, it's much appreciated. Like I said, I post every day. I'm very active, so thank y'all for the support. Y'all have a great night, and hope y'all have a great start to your week tomorrow.